All right, I think that we are up and running. Hey, want to welcome everybody to this particular show today. We're going to be talking about how these food companies have engineered food for us to be addicted to them. I think it's a great subject. There's a lot of information involved in it. You'll begin to understand why our food is the way that it is. And so I want to welcome you all. Hey, for those of you all who are on my Fruit for Your Life YouTube channel, and from those of you all who are on my From Process to Pure Food Movement YouTube channel, I want to welcome you all today and thank you for showing up. Hey, I don't know if you've ever thought about this before, but have you ever thought about why your food tastes so good? Have you ever thought about why it is that sometimes you just can't put that stuff down? Today, again, it's been engineered to be that way. So I know the last time we were talking about the science behind the taste, what they have added to the food to make us to want to be addicted to it, to cause us to want to eat it and purchase it and buy it over and over and over and over again. And we're going to go a little further into that today. Today, we're going to talk about how the food is engineered. Okay, it's engineered. They now have people who come in like scientists who actually come in and engineer the food. It's a highly scientific process that involves chemists, flavorists. I mean, these are people who are in chemistry fooling with our food. Flavorists. These are people who go out and find different flavors, or what does it take to make strawberry taste? That's what they do for a living. And some of these ingredients that they use for these flavors, y'all, is crazy. It's like off the hook, the type of stuff that they use. I won't even go into some of them right now. We'll talk about that at a later time. Even neuroscientists, they use a variety of techniques and ingredients to enhance flavor, enhance texture, and also the shelf life. So think about this. Have you ever wondered why, if you held a potato chip in your hand and you looked at that potato chip and you bit into that potato chip has a certain crunch to it. It has a certain flavor to it. And when you eat that, it's like you have to have another one. It's been totally designed for it to taste like that. Every chip is going to taste the same. The flavoring is going to taste the same in every bag. They are very consistent in what they do. And when I would go and buy those ranch flavored corn chips with the cheese and stuff on it, I won't say the name of the company, but when I would go buy those, it was like just a small handbag of those was not enough. I had to have the grab bag. And then I had to have the huge bag. I'm paying $4.16 for a large bag of corn chips now. You know, it was amazing how good it was. And if I had a sandwich, I had to have those particular corn chips to go with my sandwich. I mean, I was like hooked on it. This is what I have to have with my sandwich now. So again, they've brought scientists in, neuroscientists, to figure out what it is that the human likes, to figure out what it is that causes the dopamine to go off in the brain, to get that excitement, that pleasure over food. So see, today, food is not about, it's not about nourishment. Food is about pleasure. And that's where many of us get ourselves in trouble. It's all about pleasure. You know, we may eat when we're hungry, boy, but when we get ready to eat, we expect some pleasure to go with it. And that's just the way that it is. Again, these companies are very smart. They spend millions of dollars to find out what it is that you like. All right? So they put artificial flavors And anything that we're eating, if it's bagged, if you're buying it from a store, if it has a shelf life, it has artificial flavors. Addition of enhancers like monosodium glutamate. Monosodium glutamate. Okay, already been proven cancer. Already been proven the studies are already out there that it does cause a illness. It's more of a meaty flavor. It's a savory flavor. I believe they've discovered a fifth part to the taste system: salt, sweet. What's the other one? Salt, sweet, bitter. Salt, sweet, bitter. You know what the other ones are, but they've added one more, and that's called miami. I believe that's what it's called, miami, and it means a savory flavor. So we have taste buds in our mouths that has a savory flavor to it, and that's why we can't leave some of this stuff alone. But I'm gonna get all of those parts of the taste buds for you. This is off of memory: sour, sweet, salty, now the savory part of your taste buds, and bitter. There it goes. All right. So, but the miami or miame, or however they pronounce it now, that particular part is a new one called savory. And I believe they just discovered that one, just discovered it. Okay. So now they are working on food that affects every one of those. Maybe not the bitter as much, but definitely the sweet, definitely the sour, the salty, and the savoriness of food. That's what it does now. So we are no longer eating to supply nutrients to our body to live every day. We are now eating for pleasure. That's just the way the food system is now. It is for pleasure. You take somebody who has a garden in their backyard, and let's just say their garden is big enough that they are able to eat off of their garden for the whole summer, and also able to save food for the following winter time. Maybe they've canned it the old-fashioned way, not what they do with stuff now. They've canned it the old-fashioned way, and maybe they've frozen some of their food, frozen some of their non-GMO sweet corn that they have, and they've got this stuff. You see, they're eating for, of course, a little flavor. All of us are going to eat for flavor of our food, for sure. But they're eating for nutrition. Okay? Most people, especially if you're not growing your own garden or you're not just buying fruits and vegetables around the clock consistently, you're eating for the flavor of food. It's for the pleasure. There is no other way to get around it. Hey, we've grown up in this system. It's just how it is, y'all. Just how it is. Okay, so let's do a little case study. So we're going to talk about the soda industry. The soda industry is huge. I don't know if you all are aware of how huge it is and what it's actually doing to us. So let's look at a couple examples. The soda industry. Sodas are designed to be incredibly sweet and slightly acidic, which enhances the sweetness. The combination adds a unique texture and makes the drink more refreshing. All these elements combined create a product that may be hard to resist. And it is hard to resist. Think about it. We find it hard to resist, especially when we're used to eating it at our lunchtime with our favorite sandwich, or we go to a restaurant or so forth. We buy sodas with it. The scary thing about it is this soda can actually clean metal bumpers. I don't know if you all know that, if any of you all are even old enough to remember the chrome bumpers that we used to have. I still remember those, the chrome bumpers. And if you had rust on your chrome bumper, you could actually take some soda, pour it on top of it, and the acid would eat the rust off of the bumper. And even today, think about your car as well. If you got a car battery that has a lot of corrosion on it, if it has a lot of corrosion on it, guess what? You can take soda and pour it on top of the corrosion, and the soda, the acid within the soda, will eat the corrosion off of the battery. So that just shows you how acidic soda actually is, and we enter that into our bodies. So, that's really what's amazing about that is we actually are eating things that are harsh on our body. So think about year after year after year. Now, I understand we do have acid in our stomachs. We produce our own acid to break down food. But can you imagine what that acid does to our stomach over a period of time? Soda is very, very harmful to our system. Let's see, high sugar content in soda. We think that we drink diet soda, everything is okay. I'm drinking diet soda, I'm not getting any calories. That diet soda is playing a trick on your body. And I'm going to explain how that diet soda is doing it. Okay? So number one about the sugar that's in soda itself, it's no longer cane sugar, meaning pressed out of the sugar cane, liquid collected, and it's been added in to, and even that is today is processed. Okay, so the sugar that's added in today is not cane sugar anymore. It's high fructose corn syrup. And if you do find soda that does have cane sugar in it, you're going to pay more money for it. Because why? Because it's more expensive to produce. More expensive to produce that cane sugar than it is that corn syrup. And that corn syrup can go a long way, whereas that cane sugar, nope, you got to keep pressing, you got to keep buying the cane, you got to keep manufacturing it, you got to keep using the chemical process that it takes to do it costs more money. But if you can use the corn syrup, which is real thick like a molasses, real thick, and it goes a long way, makes things super sweet. See, they can use that chemical process cheaper and make more. It's all about profits when it comes to the food industry. It's about how can we make more of it for less and get them to buy it. And they've done a great job. We're doing it today. So high sugar content, the use of caffeine as an addictive substance. Okay? Caffeine is added into the coffee. The soda. A lot of people don't know this. I'm gonna mention Coca-Cola. Where do you think Coca-Cola got its name from? I remember my grandparents telling me that they used to buy their sandwiches for lunch. And they would go to the drugstore to buy Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola used to be a prescription. And it was a prescription because it had cocaine in it. That's why it's called Coca-Cola. But they loved it because it was sweet like it is, and they had a prescription. So they would buy this stuff and they would eat it, they would drink it along with their lunch. People would come in and buy it, with their prescription, and they would have their lunch with it. That's how it came about to be a big brand. It originated as medicine, believe it or not. And then it transformed into what it is today. So it doesn't have cocaine in it today like it used to. And it's funny, I remember my grandparents telling me about that. And my grandmother, she drank Coke every day. There was always a case of Coca-Cola in my grandmother's house. She wasn't drinking no blue can. She wasn't drinking no yellow can. She was going to have the red can, and she was going to have it every day. And so I knew then that for some reason that my grandmother was addicted to that. I knew that was an issue for her. And so even today, there is an addiction process that comes with it. Okay, so let's talk about the diet soda. The diet soda is even worse. You think that you're drinking some soda and you're not getting calories, but you're doing a severe harm to your body. Because number one, your body gets itself set up for the process that's getting ready to take place. Number one, you visually see it. Number two, you smell it. Your body is getting chemicals prepared to receive that. And so with the diet sodas, if any of you all are drinking diet soda, please go back and research it. So they don't use sugar in it, of course. They don't. They use chemical sugar. You're going to find different things in it. You know, you got the different brand companies like Equal, Splenda, all these companies. And this stuff is not sugar whatsoever. That it's actually a carcinogenic that we are putting into our body, known to cause cancer. They're going to say cancer in lab rats. No, known to cause cancer. Got a story for you. So 15 years ago, you know, when all this stuff started coming out, and I was like, yay, we got a sugar now that don't provide all the calories with it. I can eat as much sugar as I want. So I used to go to the yellow pack all the time. Coffee, yellow pack. Tea, yellow pack. I kept yellow packs with me everywhere I went. Why? Because I wanted everything to be sweet. Well, over a period of time, my wife started noticing something about me. And my wife would say, have you noticed that you're forgetting a lot? And I'd be like, forgetting a lot? And she said, yeah, you know, when you are eating that stuff, your memory, you forget stuff like really bad. And I had to really sit and process it. And I was like, Dad, you know, you're right. I did forget I said that, didn't I? I mean, literally, there was a noticeable difference because of how much of it I was consuming anyway. Like I said, I never drank water. Throughout my life, I've never drank water. Okay, never drank it. But because I didn't drink water, either I was drinking fruit juice, or I was drinking soda, or I was drinking tea. Those were the three liquids that I was taking into my body all the time. So when I came off of it, I realized that it really did affect my memory. I mean, literally, it was affecting my body. So I had to come off of it. And I realized that it was not good for me. So I did a little research on it, found out how bad it was for me, and I immediately said, I'll never touch that stuff again. Now, I don't know if you all have elderly parents that are still alive. When you see that, you know, when you see elderly parents thinking because they're diabetic and they can eat the yellow packs and the blue packs and the pink packs, and you see them going to the restaurants and ordering stuff and give me two packs, give me 3 packs of the yellow packs, you know, and you're sitting and saying to yourself, you know, that stuff is actually hindering your brain. There's really nothing that you can do about it. There's nothing, because that's what they have gotten themselves accustomed to. And only when you talk to them about it, sometimes they'll get upset with you because that's just what they do, and they've been doing it for so long. That's what they're going to do. But all you can do is really pray for them to come off of that stuff, because I will tell you, it is addictive. So your body is picking up that can of diet soda and is bringing it up to you're bringing it up to your mouth, and your body is getting ready for sugar. Okay? It's getting things together in your stomach. It's saying, I'm getting ready to receive sugar. We're going to have to break this down. Well, when you drink that can of diet soda and it's sweet to you, it's making your brain believe that it's sweet. But when it gets into your body's like, okay, where's the sugar at? Your body has been prepped for the sugar. So now you're fooling the chemical process in your body. Can you imagine what that does to you over a period of time? When you've told your brain over and over, I'm going to send you some sugar, and your body begins to think that it's getting sugar. And after a while, like anything else, how does that bother you on the inside? How does that affect your chemical processes? Does it work over a period of time? Does your body say, hey, You keep telling me I'm going to get sugar, and I'll never get the sugar that you're telling me that I'm getting after these drinks. So these are processes that we really have to pay attention to. We really have to watch what we are consuming in this. The role of carbonation in enhancing the taste. You know, drinking carbonated drinks, I think that they are good for you for example, there was something that we had growing up. It was called sour stomach. Basically, if you ate too much meat or if you ate something that didn't agree with your stomach, you'd start belching sulfur. I don't know if anybody's ever dealt with that before. You'd begin to belch sulfur, and the carbonation in soda or carbonated water would actually help you belch that up out of your system and get that out of your system, like even baking soda. People would take baking soda to minimize it. But when you're dealing with things like that, those are the times that you wind up using those products. Like I quit drinking soda years ago, but if my stomach didn't feel good, I would actually drink some soda to make my stomach feel better. And let me tell you, before I altered my life, and this is why I knew I had to alter my life, y'all. This is no joke. Almost every time I was eating meat and I went to bed on it, the next day my stomach would be queasy. I would have to throw up. I would be belching sulfur. I mean, it would smell bad, and I'm around my family and here I am belching. It's like nasty. And I kept saying, why is this happening to me? Why do I keep going through this? Oh, and don't let me smoke on a grill, on a smoker. I'm telling you what, it was something else when I did that. So when I smoked on a grill and I ate it, my stomach would start doing that. I would start getting these belching in my stomach. I would start having sulfur, in my stomach. And it was because of that. I knew that something inside of me was different. And I could no longer continue to eat the way that I was eating because my body was affecting me in certain ways now. So I got away from it. I got away from all of that. And don't you know that I haven't had an episode of that? Since eating whole food, I don't have those situations happen to me anymore. So we've got to really think about how this stuff is fooling with our body. So let's talk about the impact on health for a second. Just the impact on health for a second. Okay? While these engineered foods are incredibly tasty, they often come with significant health drawbacks. High sugar, high salt content, and fat intake are linked to obesity. All three of those are linked to obesity. It's because they are adding it to what we're eating. And so if you have a life that is full of ultra processed food, if that's all you are eating, you're getting extra. You're not just getting what you're supposed to have, which you're really not, because you're not getting nutrients in your food. You're getting a bunch of calories. And on top of that, because it's ultra processed food or processed food, you're getting extra on top of it. So what happens to you when you take in extra sugar? What happens to you when you take in extra salt? What happens when you take in extra fat? It begins to collect on your body. And then the health effects that come from it, from doing that, that's why you find over 41% of Americans today are obese. It's our diet, it's the products that we are eating. And that's why I call this a movement. This isn't something where you be still. This is something where you have to work at it. You have to move from where you are now, and you have to go to that place you're trying to get to. It is literally a movement of coming off of that processed food to that whole pure food. Whole pure food does not do that to you. Okay? So with the salt and the fat intakes are linked to obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and other health issues. It's important to be aware of these risks and be informed when we make these choices about what we eat. You have to think about every time you eat. If you pick something up, is this good for me? Is this bad for me? Is this going to help me or is this going to work against me? It's a mental thought that you have to have, a mental process that you have to begin to have when you begin to eat food. If you know that it's processed, there's no other way to change it. Either you're going to eat to benefit your health or you're going to eat to sabotage your health. There is no in between. It is a conscious effort that we have to make. So there are a lot of statistics about health. I just gave you one. 41% of Americans are actually overweight, obese. The children, the number has gone up. I think it's somewhere around 26%. Don't quote me on that. Of children today are now obese. Listen, there were very few obese children when I was younger. Why? Because we all played outside. We all had something that we were doing. So, but today there seems to be a little different issue with the video games, with technology, with the things that are keeping children in the home. Hey, in my neighborhood, let me tell you what, when we were growing up, we were all outside riding bikes. We were jumping on pogo sticks. I mean, we were busy. We were doing things. I mean, we were riding our big wheels up and down the street. I mean, the big wheels, the wheels were made out of plastic. Man, we would rub those wheels raw. They would have holes in them in about 2-3 months where we done slid and, we sitting there spinning out on our big wheels. I mean, we had a ball. We had a blast. I mean, we had a neighborhood crew. Today, when I go outside of my house and I look up and down the street, you don't hardly see anybody outside anymore. And I live now in the same neighborhood I grew up in. The house that I have today was my aunt's house. The house that I grew up in, I bought that house. There's nobody there. There's people living in the house, but there are no kids on the street no more. None. So technology has taken over. Now kids are staying indoors, doing their own thing. And now we see our children grossly obese. And I will not let that happen in my family. I will not let that happen in my household. I will not let that happen with my children. I will not allow my children to be obese because I know the health consequences that comes with that. Children today, diabetic. Come on, y'all, that shouldn't be. Should not be. But when we giving them sugary cereals in the morning time, every morning, I've met people who children will not let them feed them anything else but what they want. The children decides what they're going to eat. I don't want that. I want some French fries. And they're not going to be happy until they get those French fries. And the parents cater to their children. It will not be like that in my house. Parents, you decide what your children eat. Don't let your children decide what they're going to eat. You do that. You're the mother, you're the father, and I'm probably going to catch some grief as I always do. It's okay, got big shoulders, I'm used to it. You decide what your children are going to eat. I don't want that. I want some French fries. Well, I guess you ain't eating. You come see me when you're hungry. Because I know when you're hungry. When you're hungry, you can't help it. No, I'm not taking you to get no double cheeseburger. No, that's not happening. I got this right here for you. We made this on our own stove. If you don't want to eat it, you just not going to eat. I'm going to sit you a plate right here to the side. When you ready for it, come get it. When you ain't ready for it, if it's going to sit there. So we got to get out of this system that we have been trained to be in now where our children tell us what they're going to eat. No, we have to take ownership of our children. We have to take ownership of their health. They've got so much stuff being crammed down their throat every day. Listen, they don't know what to do with their health. They're not thinking about health. They're thinking about what tastes good. They're thinking about what feels good. They're thinking about rolling cars up and down the table. They're not caring about health. That's why you're the parents. Your responsibility. Unless there's a genetic problem, when I see parents and their children are grossly overweight, I don't look at the child. I look at the mama and the daddy. That's who I look at. I look at grandmama, granddaddy for feeding them the junk. So it's not a child's fault. A child is only going to do what you allow them to do. But when you start making changes in your children, like I had to do, started making changes in my children. Now my children, they eat watermelon all the time. My children are always eating oranges. Hey, Dad, can I have some nuts? And I'm like, man, this is my only bag of nuts right here. But I don't want to tell them and have them to go eat something else. So here, take some. You know, we got to start being that way. We got to start thinking about their health because it's going to cost you in the long run if you don't take care of your children. When your child comes up diabetic, and I pray that doesn't be the case. If they come up diabetic, get ready to start paying for insulin. Get ready to start paying for medication. Get ready to start seeing health issues come up with your children. It shouldn't be. You know, when you stand before the Most High, He's going to hold you responsible. He's going to hold us responsible for our children. So let's not do that. Let's begin to teach our children the proper way to eat. Let's not let them look at what the world does because the world is so enticing. The world is so enticing to our children. You know, you got to teach them now. And when they get older and they're on their own, hey, they're on their own. They're responsible for themselves. But while they're in your house, while they're young and really can't make decisions for themselves, hey, that's on us. All right? So hope this has been good today for you all. I hope you got some information from this. Yes, scientists are now making our food. How do we throw our lives away to people who do not know who we are? They only think about a profit. How do we put our health in their hands? How do we give them that? Something so precious. And they're concerned about profit. It's time for us to wake up. It's time to join the movement. Hey, I'm Ed Logan. Thank you for joining me today. For everybody on Fruit for Your Life and those on From Process to Pure Food Movement. Hey, I enjoyed you being here today. Let's see, we're here. So true. We cooked at home, and if complained, you were sent to bed without food, and we lived. You know what's sad about that? Is if people hear about that kind of stuff being done today, somebody gonna knock on your door if somebody knows that. But that was old school right there. But see, old school in today's time ain't old school no more. Now sometimes old school gets you in trouble. That's just where we are. That's right. We do not. We take our power back. Praise Yahuwah. That's exactly right. Hey, I hope this was good for you. I will be back on again tomorrow. Again, we'll be talking about different things. Yesterday, for those of you all, if some of you were waiting, for those who see me later, I was actually out sending out flyers. I have a meeting that's coming up, a health community meeting about illness in our communities. I was passing out flyers yesterday, speaking with the newspaper, news channels, and stuff like that to try to get this event up and going. So I do apologize. Things like that are going to come up, but I will try to consistently be here every day this month through the weekday for you all, bringing you some great content. All right. Hey, share this with your friends, family, whoever. You know, I don't know if this will reach anybody, but hey, please like and subscribe. You all take care. It was great hanging out with you all today. All right. Bye-bye.